Jeff McNeil. The squirrel, do we refer to you as Jeff McNeil?
No, Jeff McNeil's good.
You've embraced that nickname, though. Last year, not so much.
Yeah. They used to call me in the minor leagues, and, wasn't a huge fan of it. And, kind of got around the big league locker room and, just kind of stuck. So, just kind of had to, learn to like it. And, it's definitely grown.
Like that or Jeff McHits better?
I like Jeff McHits. We can go with Jeff McHits for the rest of my career, and I'll be happy with that.
So here's the question I have for you, right off the bat. Is there ever a situation, or has there ever been a situation where you go up to the plate against a pitcher and you think, this is going to be a tough at-bat?
There's a lot of tough pitchers out there. Every time face like a Scherzer, face a big ace, it's tough. But yeah, you got to try to stay confident. It's going to be a battle. He's not going to give you a cookie to hit. They don't miss many pitches. So
neither do you.
So yeah, you just got to hope he misses one over the middle of the plate, and you got to put a good swing on it. But yeah, there's some pitchers out there that are tough.
The confidence factor, though, you've since day one, you've never seemed like you felt overmatched up here. And I think a lot of people, they come up to the big leagues and there's that moment of transition, but you have so much confidence in your own abilities. Do you think that confidence is because of all the success you've had throughout your life, or have you had that success because you've had that confidence in yourself?
I've always been a pretty confident player. The one thing I learned, it was way back in my career. I got promoted from low A to high A, and for some reason in my head, I thought these guys were better than me. I'm at a different level. He just got promoted. These guys are good, and it kind of messed with me a little bit. And I didn't have a good season at all. And I learned that the way you got to think about it is, they're just baseball players too. They're going to throw the ball over the middle of the plate. So the next year when I started high A, again, that's like the mindset I had. I'm like, these are the guys I played against last year. They're no better. They're a little bit more refined, but I can hit them. And I tried to do that the rest of my career. Every time I got promoted into level, it's just a game. It's the same game. They're gonna throw the ball over the middle of the plate sometimes. They're gonna make good pitches, but you got to be confident. And when I got called up to the big leagues, it's just another game. So and the way I started off last year, it always helped too. Just getting a hit in your first at bat. Kind of helps you settle down.
As far as the prospect lists and all those sorts of things that gear fans up for an incoming player, there's guys in the top 5, top 10, but injuries kind of derailed all of that for you. Where did it turn for you where you realized that you could be a big league player and that you could be successful at any level?
I want to say it was before I got hurt. I think it was high A. I was playing really well. I think I was hitting over 300, doing well. But, the injuries just kind of set me back. I was never a top prospect. I was never kind of thought of, this guy's going to be in the big leagues. I kind of had to earn everything. And, once I got to Double A and, everything, that's when everything really started to click. I put on the weight, I put on the strength, and then started hitting home runs, still hit for a high average. And, that's when I really kind of set in that, I can do this in big leagues.
Did you have a moment at all throughout the minor league process, whether it was while you were injured or even at a time last year in 2018 where you were raking and you weren't getting that call? Did you ever have a moment where you thought, this might not happen I might not get the opportunity?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I was in Double A and I was playing really well, and I was always, asking my agent what's going on, like why am I here still? And he's like, just relax. You're going to get your opportunity. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get the chance. You're going to get the chance. And I got promoted to AAA. Started doing the same thing. And once I was playing well there, I knew I was going to get an opportunity. It was just a matter of when. And was lucky enough to get called up. The day I did, and I think I made the best of it.
I'd say you made the best. Yeah, I think
so far
so
good.
Yeah.
Does that chip still stay with you? Is that something that you're thinking about even as you succeed here? That you're still trying to show that you belong and that you are one of the better players in the major leagues?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had to prove myself my whole career, like I said. So, I'm up here still trying to do it. I'm still trying to make a name for myself and, be one of the best players in baseball and, just, I guess, keep grinding every single day to kind of become the best player I can be.
The story of Jeff McNeil, really from day one, before you even wanted to be a baseball player when you were a golfer, it goes against the grain of so much of what today's game is about. And we're going to get into all the different aspects, but just to continue on in the minor leagues for a second, especially in this organization under the previous regime, you were essentially different in all aspects than everything they were looking for. They wanted guys that, you know, really worked deep counts and hit for power, and you weren't that. Along the way, how difficult was it to stick with what you knew you were good at and not try and conform or change to become the type of player that maybe would get you an earlier look with this team?
Yeah. So that, yeah, I mean, definitely they like the players that, worked long at bats, worked walks, got on base. Yeah, I wasn't that player. I like to swing early in the count. And it was tough at times because I was high A and I was hitting really well, and they had a rule, like, a couple guys had to take a strike. Mm-hmm. And I hated that. And, I'd have a 8-game hitting streak going on or something like that, and they're like, "Hey, Jeff, you got to take a strike today." I'm like, I got like 4 hits yesterday. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. And it was tough.
What were they doing?
It was tough sometimes. And you get to a good count and you go 2-0, and you got to take a pitch right down the middle. It's just frustrating. But yeah, I mean, I never changed my game. Kind of stuck with who I am. I like to swing early. A lot of people know that. I mean, I'm not up there trying to walk. I'm up there trying to get a hit. Mm-hmm. To get a hit, just as good as a walk, I guess. So, and then by me doing that, I mean, pitchers are going to start kind of maybe pitching around me a little more. They know I'm aggressive early in the count, and that's when my walks will come.
We know that your dream was to be a professional golfer and not necessarily a baseball player, but yeah, there's a swing path in golf just like in baseball. Has that helped you, do you think, become a good baseball player? And would you recommend for kids that are in baseball right now, at Little League Baseball, to maybe pick up golf as well? Do they translate in that way?
Did you see that question on Twitter?
I did.
Yeah, I saw that too. So I think the baseball, my golf swing might have helped my baseball swing. I think it helps you use your whole body. I mean, I was never a big kid, but I could always hit a golf ball along the way. I really learned how to use my body the right way in the swing. And same with the baseball. I mean, I was never a big kid, but I could actually hit a baseball for my size pretty far. I mean, so I think it just helped me kind of use my whole body the correct way. And I think, yeah, the more sports you can play, the more it's going to help you. I think golf really helped me with my hand-eye coordination. I think that helped me a lot. With my ability to put the ball in play, tough pitch, especially those low pitches, I'll go out and just kind of slap and, try to knock over an infielder. But I think it's definitely helped me.
You mentioned the hand-eye coordination, and clearly, I mean, part of this is just this natural, cognitive ability you probably have hand-eye coordination-wise. But you and I were talking about this in spring training, how as a kid growing up, because you weren't the biggest guy, you were a quick player, and for you, if you put the ball in play, you were on first base for the most part. How much do you think, just looking back on it, that your thought process then contributed to the skill that you have now, being able to put bat on ball?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I think I knew if I kind of hit a ground ball to the shortstop or third baseman in Little League, it's probably a hit, just because I was so fast, and it's tough for them to make that throw. And I hated striking out too. I mean, I struck out like once a year in Little League, so I think it's really helped me. I mean,
you've said too that you remember you only struck out twice between the ages of 12 and 14.
Yeah,
and you remember both of those strikeouts?
I remember I struck out one time. It was like when I was 12. It was like a fastball away, and it was way away. I don't think it was a strike. And the next one was it was like a fastball in that.
Was that the one where it was James McCann's father was the umpire?
Yep, James McCann's dad was the umpire. And I don't think that was a strike. And it was actually funny because I saw him at the AllStar Game. I'm like, I still don't think that pitch is a strike. So,
California, there's up and down every big league roster, there are guys from California. Are there guys that you did grow up playing against that you see now?
I mean, not really. I mean, James McCann, me and him played Little League together. But other than that, from my area, there's not a whole lot of guys. I know Danny Duffy is from the area, but no, never really played against any major league players back where I'm from.
Well, there's one guy from your area that did make it to pro ball too. Your brother, he was a pitcher in the Cubs organization. What was it like to have someone close in age that you could just play with every day and kind of steel sharpens steel. You guys could both improve against one another.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to have a younger brother. He's 2 years younger than me, and we used to play wiffle ball for hours in the backyard. I think that's one thing that helped me, with my hitting. I wasn't letting him strike me out ever. So we'd play wiffle ball in the backyard for hours, and hated when he struck me out. So it wasn't going to happen, and I think it really helped my game. And then, I mean, he's been one of my biggest fans too. I mean, unfortunately, he was released about like 2 weeks before I made my major league debut, but he's been with me kind of along the ride, and he's been cheering, and he's super happy. So it's good to see.
What was the relationship baseball-wise with him growing up that, if I remember correctly, that kind of led you to continue baseball, right? Because you had to choose when you went to high school, right?
Yeah.
That you had to choose between golf and baseball. You chose golf.
Yes.
But then you ended up continuing to play baseball. What, later on in high school?
Yeah.
Because
So
of him?
yeah. So when I got to high school, I had to choose golf or baseball. The new school, I went to a brand new school, just moved to the area, didn't know anyone. Went to the school, found out they had an extremely good golf team. They won league the last 2 or 3 years, and the first few guys I met were all golfers, so became really good friends with them. And we had 5 guys on our team that could break 70. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play golf. We're gonna dominate. And
Even then, it was about winning. It was less about you.
Oh,
It was more
absolutely.
about
We were going
got
to dominate. The
best-
baseball
yeah.
team wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then played a lot of individual tournaments. Played in the U.S. Junior Amateur, and it was after that tournament I didn't do very well, and I was kind of talking to some college coaches, and I just wasn't getting a lot of looks. So I might have been able to walk on somewhere, but nothing crazy, no guaranteed spots. So my brother was on a scout ball team. He was a big time prospect. I mean, for his age, he was a sophomore in high school. Big kid, threw hard. So he went out for like the California Wahoos, and basically we said, my brother will play on this team, but you get me. I get to play. I was a throw-in. I was a throw-in. Like, here, if he plays, he'll take him, and let us know what you think. And started playing really well for the coach, and Vince Segisi. He's like, do you have any do you want to play college baseball? I go, yeah. I mean, golf's not really working. Let's try the whole baseball thing. And he goes, all right, I'll have a scout come and look at you next week, and we'll see what he thinks. And he had Cal State Northridge out a couple weeks later. I think I got 4 hits that day in a doubleheader with a couple stolen bases, and had a scholarship a couple hours later.
Amazing.
So
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, so it's kind of a crazy
the whole
story to the baseball world.
But you ended up at Long Beach State.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's another kind of crazy story. About a month, 3 weeks before I had all my classes ready to go at Northridge, the coach ended up getting fired. The guy who recruited me, he's like, I think you might be better off. You're allowed to leave. You might be better off going to another school. We can put your name out there. And Long Beach ended up giving me the exact same scholarship. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be a much better school for you, to develop. And I think there's no better place to play baseball in Long Beach State. I learned how to play the right way there, and I think it was between Long Beach State and Fresno State once I left Northridge. So I think I made the right decision, and they taught me the dirtbag way of playing baseball.
Yeah, I mean, is that a real thing too? Because the way that you play the game right now, people say, "Oh, he plays the game like a dirtbag," but they mean that in a positive way. Is there a certain standard over there that's almost a throwback standard to playing the game of baseball that you think has made you the player you are today?
Yeah, I think you learn to play the game the right way. You learn to basically do whatever it takes to get the job done. There's a runner on second base, nobody out. You're getting them to third. You're going to give up your at bat for the team. You're going to basically do everything you can to win. And I mean, I learned to grind there. I mean, it was tough. Long practices, long days, but I mean, I learned more about the game there than anywhere. I mean, more than I've learned in pro ball. They taught you to play the game the right way. So really glad I had that opportunity.
What has allowed you, as the game has started to change toward launch angle and guys hitting home runs and driving up the OPS? I think I saw an article the other day from Mitch Garver saying that, OPS gets you paid, and these are the types of things that guys are trying to develop for their future as well. What has made you stick with your game plan and allowed you to continue kind of on this one-track mind while everybody else is doing something else?
And it's got me this far, so I'm going to keep doing it. And you need guys on base. You need guys on base for the Pete Alonsos to hit home runs. He needs his RBIs. So I'm just going to do my best to get on base. And I know if I hit for a high average, I drive a lot of balls in the gap. I hit a lot of doubles. I'm going to hit home runs. The home runs are there. And you have a high average, you're going to have a high OPS. So I think I have that. I just kind of have a unique skill of being able to hit for a high average.
It's recently been your 1-year anniversary from being or from making your big league debut. In that 1 year, how much has your life changed in every aspect, on and off the field?
I think it changes the day you get called up. Financially it's awesome, but just the kind of the opportunity you have, and you get to play in front of 40,000 people every single day. Instead of the minor leagues, you're playing in front of 2. You're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Your travel sucks. It's just everything about. I was working construction in the off season. I worked a few jobs, odd jobs, but so the minute you get called up, you don't have to do that. Your life changes and just makes it, I guess, much easier. It's a grind when you're up here, but it's. Is
it jarring at all though to be someone who was upset? You could walk down the street and no one would know who you were a year ago, and now you're not just a major league player. You've in very short order become a star. You've become an all-star. Everybody, you're one of the few guys, if you're a Mets fan, that everybody wants to talk about, everybody wants to see, everybody wants to meet. Is that jarring to go through that so quickly?
Yeah. It's nice to walk into a restaurant and have people recognize you, but at the same time, you kind of want your privacy sometimes. Yeah. But it's fun. I go back home, and back home I'm just Jeff. They know I play baseball, but I'm from a small town, and we're all close, and that's what I like about where I'm from, and I'm not a huge deal there, which is nice.
I don't want it to become like a big thing or anything, but are you and Alonso trying to be better friends than Steve and me? Is that the goal?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. No, I love Pete,
You've got a long ways to go, let me tell you. That's not going to happen as quickly as your
hopefully, hopefully Pete and I can play for a long time together, and, we'll get there.
Where did that friendship develop, though? When did you guys get really close in the minors?
Another Twitter question I saw.
Well, I had that.
Some of these,
some of these are.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah, so Pete and I came close. I was playing in high A. I was supposed to be there for just a few weeks, just rehabbing. I was coming off my hip surgery. I was supposed to play there for a week or two and then get out of there. And unfortunately, tore my quad on a home run ball.
On a home run?
Yours
shot,
or his?
One of mine. One of mine, actually. One of the few. I ended up tearing my quad and ended up, hanging out there for way too long. I was there for 2.5, 3 months, and I think he was hurt at the time. When he came back, we were just around each other for so long, and then started the next year in Double A. I think that's when we got really close. Both playing really well, and both wanted the same thing. Obviously, everyone in the minors wants to, take the next step, and we actually took the next step together. We went to AAA together, and just kind of we've been together ever since high A.
Yeah. The interesting thing when you say we wanted the same thing, obviously, like you said, everybody wants to go to the major leagues. But I was talking to someone recently about you and Pete, who said when you look at the Mets now and why they've got this young core to build around, Jeff McNeil and Pete Alonso are clearly talented. But the one thing that you see in both of them is they desperately want to win, that they aren't happy if they get 4 hits or Pete hits a 500-foot home run, but lose the game, they're not happy, and that's not always the case. Is that something you guys connected over to, this competitive spirit, this desire to win as a team?
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to win when we were in the minor leagues. Definitely want to win the big leagues, and I think Pete and I we compete with each other a lot too. Like last year, I remember we were both hitting a bunch of home runs early in the season, quick. And I think Pete was ahead of me, and then I passed him. I'm ahead of you now, and he's like, I ain't letting that happen. And he hit one, and start talking trash to me, and I'll be like, no, great, my turn. And we have little games, and it's fun. But yeah, we're both super competitive people. Definitely want to win. I think you saw that in the home run derby with Pete. He wanted that bad. But yeah, both super competitive. I never want to get out ever. I mean, I think you guys know that, and
And we can see it.
I want, always want to win. So, I know if I don't do my part, I feel like I let the team down, and I don't like that.
How many helmets do you think you've dented so far?
A good amount.
Do you guys look at yourselves as leaders in the clubhouse, or is it too soon for that?
I think we like to lead kind of by our play. I mean, we're both not very vocal in the clubhouse right now. We're both young, so kind of let the older guys kind of take care of that. But on the field, me and him just try to lead by example. Just basically play as hard as we can, and do everything we can to help.
This might be hard to do because every situation is different, but I'm fascinated by what goes through your mind when you step into the box, because I know on one level you're pretty simple about it. You don't like to overload yourself before the game with too many scouting reports, too much video work, but clearly there's so many different things that you compute based on how the infielders are playing and what you think that pitcher's going to do and what you've seen. So just kind of give us almost an example of what it's like for you when you get into the box.
Yeah, I'll get into the box. I'll take a look around. Kind of see where the defense is going to play me. Some teams are going to shift, some teams aren't. And then I see where the infield is, and I think that's kind of what the pitcher wants to do too. I see him shifting. Okay, I think they're going to probably try to throw me soft and in. I'm trying to make it hard to go the other way. So I'm almost kind of looking for that pitch, and I'm able to kind of stay inside of it and go the other way. If the second baseman's way deep, I might lay down a bunt. It's an automatic hit basically if he's way deep. So, I try to see where the holes are at. Try to guess kind of how the pitcher's going to pitch me, and kind of do it based on that.
In 1988, they started tracking batting averages in specific counts, and on 2 strikes, forever 1 and 2 since then have been Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs. You've slid yourself right in between them. You are now second on that list between Gwynn and Boggs. What happens in your mind on 2 strikes?
Put the ball in play. Don't strike out.
That's everybody's. Isn't that everybody's? Like, why are you
some
good
people
at
are still trying to do, damage.
Yeah.
Some people still try to do damage. That's not their game. Their game isn't to go out of the zone and flick a ball over the, second baseman. So that is my game. I know if I just touch the ball, I have even if I don't hit it hard, I'm fast enough to maybe get an infield single. Good enough hands where I can maybe bloop one over the shortstop. So I know that's kind of my best chance of getting on base.
Is it that easy though? Because clearly it's not.
It's not,
Clearly it's not.
These are the 2 of the best contact hitters of all time that you're in between.
To be able to, with 2 strikes, have enough confidence in your ability to just keep touching that ball. Why do you think you are so capable of that when so many other guys that are the best of the best in the world just can't do it?
I think it's just been something I've done my whole life. Since literally, like I said, always just try to put the ball in play. I never want to strike out. So I've been doing it for so long. I take a little different approach. I might let the ball get a little deeper, and then I use the whole bat. I mean, there's times where I'll get jammed so bad. There's a mark near my hands.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I hit that. I think the one the other day off Zamarja, I think I just went like that. And I think Zamarja was shocked. I somehow put the barrel of the bat on the ball, and then I hit a home run. I hit a home run the next pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I was like, I don't even know how I did that. It kind of shocked me, but just do everything I can to touch the ball. It doesn't have to be fair. I'll foul off a few good ones, like good pitchers pitches until I get a good pitch to hit.
The question that I always think about in a situation like that, though, is when you're in a defensive mode, right, where you're just trying to just touch that ball. How do you quickly recognize that that's a mistake pitch and then get into just drive it? I mean,
it's tough. I mean, you get the mistake pitch. It's still not my A swing. I don't think it might be my B or my C swing, but it's a good pitch to hit, so it's easier to barrel it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've done a whole lot of damage with 2 strikes. Most of my damage comes in ahead in the count and with less than 2. But you get that mistake. It's just easier to put the barrel on it and hit it hard.
What did you take away from being at the AllStar Game?
That was a great experience. Love being there. Around the best players in the world. And I kind of took away, that I'm good enough to be there. I think, it was nice to get the player vote this year, and the players, saw what I did all year, and I was lucky enough for them to have me vote me in, which was awesome. I think that was huge, and it's just a great experience. Try to soak it all in. See what Pete did was awesome, and
Did any conversation you had with any of the All-Stars stand out?
No, not really. We just kind of joked around. It wasn't really serious at all, which was awesome. You need that, during the season. But it was a nice few days, just kind of have fun.
Do you set goals? Are you the type of person that sits there, especially right now where a batting title is very realistic? Do you sit there thinking about it, you want it, or do you really take everything a day at a time?
I want it, obviously. But yeah, you just kind of got to take it a day at a time, and hopefully, keep doing things the right way. At the end of the year, and in September, you're where you need to be, and then you can really look ahead to it, and but yeah, you just take it a day at a time. But yeah, there's goals that I have. I want to win a batting title. I want to hit for a high average. So.
We were talking a little bit about how this last year has gone for you. You are someone who, a year ago, like we said, you weren't this top prospect coming up. Then in this offseason, you came very close to getting traded. Now, you are widely regarded as one of the 3 absolutely untouchable pieces on this roster, you, Pete, and Jacob deGrom. Is that something that ever is crazy to you? Do you ever think about that?
The whole trade thing was kind of crazy. I know I was in that trade, and I'm happy I'm still a Met. It's great to be here, and yeah, I think it's pretty crazy that I don't know who's exactly untouchable, but it's pretty cool to be one of those core pieces along with Pete and Jake, and hopefully we can be here for a long time. I want to be here for a long time, and hopefully bring a World Series to this city.
Well, Mickey said once that you're so confident that you could probably, in your mind, get on the mound and throw a shutout. Is that true? Do you think you could do that?
Well, we had the guy from the Orioles close out the game.
Yeah,
throwing less than 60 miles an hour. So I think I could lob some in there and hopefully miss some barrels. But
again,
I know I can pump strikes. I can throw strikes.
But here's the thing, and it kind of goes full circle right to the beginning of the interview with the question. You've been able to do something where you've moved, whether it's second, third, left, right. You not only have been fine in any of those spots, but you've been really good. You've been, Wayne had a great.
And it hasn't affected your offense.
Right. It had nothing's been affected. And I was talking to Gary DiSarcina about you, and he said that he thinks part of the reason why you're able to have success moving all over the place is because you are naturally that confident. So whereas some guys, they haven't played in an area in a long time or ever before, they are questioning themselves, they could put you wherever and you say, I can do this, I'm fine.
Yeah, no, I think that helped in college too, because that was kind of my role in college. They moved me everywhere. So I learned to do it kind of earlier age. And yeah, I know hitting and defense are 2 completely different things. I separate them as much as possible. So yeah, I haven't really let the fact that I'm playing multiple positions affect me at the plate in any way.
Should we
you
some fan
you
questions?
wrote them all down. You might as well use a couple of them.
Well, did you hear any that you really liked?
No.
You said, because every time we say something, you're like, I read that one.
Like
I read that one, yeah.
Got involved.
All right, here's one that's, I'm just going off the top. I don't think anybody's asked you this. I know you're not the only player that does this, but Mets fan 202 wanted to know why do you take big breaths before every at bat?
So I learned that as one of the things we learned in college. It was like old Ken Revisa, baseball psychologist. He used to come and talk to us once a week, and he just kind of taught us you got to have a routine in the box. So if you look, I basically do the same thing in the box, and I take a deep breath, try to calm me down, and especially if I start chasing out of the zone, I'll take a deep breath, try to reset, try to forget about the last pitch, and just tries to calm you down, especially in a big situation. I remember, I think my debut, I came to the plate, I'm like, all right, I need to breathe right now. Like this is insane. Trying to soak it all in, and so it's just something I do to kind of. It's part of my routine, just to kind of calm myself down.
I want to know the former teammate of yours, John Magliozzi. He asked about you eating pizza after every game.
Yeah, crushed pizza. I love pizza.
You still do?
Not
that,
every
right?
game.
No. So
A lot.
Have you found a place in New
Yeah,
York?
I go to my local. It's a Slice in Long Island City. It's my local pizza joint that I'll hit up.
They have you sign a headshot yet?
Not yet.
Jeff McHits, a.k.a. the Squirrel.
Do you like anything weird on it, or is it just standard?
Just like a pepperoni sausage and olive. Just,
He asked if you still get mad at 3 putts.
Yeah, I don't 3-putt anymore, so he should know that.
Let's see. Any others that really stood out? Okay, I'm just going to ask it. This might be not true at all, but someone asked if you still ride a scooter to Citi Field.
I do not. That
Did
was
you
last
ride a
year.
scooter? You
Yeah.
rode a scooter to Citi Field last year?
Last year I stayed at the Holiday Inn, the 2 months I was here. And,
right.
Bought a little electric scooter, cruised over here.
It's a California kid right there.
Yeah.
That's
the scooter's still in the apartment. My wife will take it to go to the store or something.
Yeah.
I'll go take it to go get pizza.
Yeah.
Go get some food or. So yeah, I definitely have it still.
I was actually stunned by that
Imagine.
when we were out in California.
Just Jeff McNeil scooting on by.
Well, when we were in California, everybody takes a scooter
Yeah.
everywhere. When we were in San Francisco, it's like there were no cars.
Yep.
Anything else?
Well,
that stood
there's
out to
one
you?
it's about the shift, and it's not the question I want to ask, but I know that you have been very good at hitting against the shift when it's there. And when the shift is not there, then you're able to yank the ball through the other side. Are you conscious of when a team is shifting you, and are you trying to do that? Is that something that you're able to do?
Yeah, it's something I try to focus on. I see him shifting on me. I know there's a big hole on the left side. I'm gonna, try to shoot it through there. Maybe early in the count, I'm not trying to do it so much. But yeah, once I get to 2 strikes, I'm gonna let the ball get deep and try to shoot it through that hole.
This is from Fabian. More satisfying, a base hit after a long at bat or
Home
first
run.
pitch homer? Yeah,
I'll take a home run on the first pitch. It's 1-0.
What was that story from last week where Mickey wanted an 11 pitch at bat and a home run? You saw us do it on the first pitch.
I always joke around whenever I lead off the game. It's 1-0. Just as a joke. And it's actually the first time he really said anything about it. He goes, "Yeah, I want an 11 pitch at bat.
Yeah.
I want you to battle, and then I want you to hit a home run." I go, "No, I'll do it on the first pitch." And did it on the first pitch, and that's why I looked back in the dugout. He's just laughing.
And they've been pretty good about letting you as a leadoff hitter just do what you do, right?
Yeah.
Obviously when you hit one.
Well, he's on base
700.
every day, yeah.
Who actually? I think it was Terry Collins last year. We were all just having a discussion here. I think it was for Jay Horowitz's press conference, and someone was asking about you, and because he had gone around and seen people, and someone was like, "Yeah, he seems to be great at putting the ball in play and hitting for average, but doesn't walk as much.
Yeah.
He's on base." And Terry goes, "Does he get on base?" Because it's true.
Yeah.
Does he get on base? But
Is he there?
But they let you, even as the leadoff guy though, not see traditionally the types of pitches that they normally expect.
Try to get a good pitch to hit, and try to get on with the hit.